Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans were frustrated with last week's loss and are anxious to get back above 500 in today's game. It's the Bengals going up against the Titans. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now to throw on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And we peer now at the offensive starters here in this game.
Let's take a look at the wide receiver, Dorial Green Beckham, DGB. Size, speed, hands. His promise is starting to be realized.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They go back to Riddick. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Play fake. Mariota. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On play action, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham, and it brings up 4th down. So the Titans are forced to punt as Brett Kern is on to do the honors.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Titan football. And the Titans getting set to go. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Mariota now from the 50. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 3rd down, Mariota. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Second and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 16 on the pickup. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st down. Fresh set of downs here. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jurrell Casey in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw again. Underneath here to Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jeremy Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. And they've got the lead. Last time they surrendered the field goal. We'll see what they do this go around.
And giving up 3 is never ideal because any defense wants to pitch a shutout. But that's not a bad thing in most situations. You only give up field goals, your team has a chance to win.
Yeah, they still, as I said, they've got the lead here. We'll see if they can get a stop and hold them to 0 points this time.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're headed to chains now.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Riddick. And some room to maneuver. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. He's got time in the pocket. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Okay, let's hit the analytics side here. 3rd down, passing situation. You know most people are going to dial up some sort of pressure.
And they did, and they got to him while he was in the pocket.
In that situation, you know as a quarterback, they're coming. You got to be able to stand in there firm and make a throw.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Bengals take possession. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Holding offense.
No chance, no chance.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
On 2nd down, Mariota again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Theo Riddick there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. A big gain there on 3rd and long. 38 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, the tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
It's complete to Brown, right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Mariota now on 2nd down. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's going to get this inside the 30. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 2nd down, Mariota. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Backing up. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here. Hey, you. Yeah, you. John, why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, I bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the third quarter. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Then he motions the wide receiver. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
This is Reddick on the screen. 8 yards there and a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. This guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Well, we know he's had a lot of good games in this league. He had another good one last week, but here, he's just off, isn't he?
And that's hard to believe because we're so used to him being so good. But guess what? Even the best players are allowed to have some bad moments and stretches along the way. Normally what we see, though, is him finding a way out, finding a way to make some big-time plays before it's over. We'll see if he's able to do that in this game.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Play action now. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. That is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Their big tight end. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he bowls over it. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Let's go! Detroit!
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll give the Bengals a first down.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Back to throw here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zone, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Time running out here on the play clock. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Hill, the lone setback. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. 2nd down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
With a carry. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Mariota surveying the field. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Here's Riddick. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Throwing is Mariota. This one brought in by Dorial Green-Beckham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 on that one. And it's good enough for a Tennessee first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. In the red zone this time. pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
They didn't get the push they needed. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Myers able to knock it through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
And out now, here come the Bengals. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Second down following the run. They come up in an offset eye. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. A great read, and it's picked off. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Tennessee, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.